Hey everyone, Michael from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au. So bringing you all the good goss, including the question, why? So what am I meaning? It's probably the most frequently asked question I've had for the last few weeks is why? Why is the price going up? Why is it going so fast? And when's it going to stop? And it's a conundrum. I have to admit, I'll go right out there right now. I called this stopping at $3,500 Australian, so obviously I don't know what I'm talking about. But we can draw some things out. Is it BRICS? So there's a meeting of the BRICS nations this week, and part of the discussion is gold, silver, what are they going to purchase, other commodities as well. So obviously that's causing a bit of excitement. We've obviously got the election in the US. That sort of uncertainty always drives price up and people wanting to kind of protect their money. Is it Russia announcing that they're increasing their stockpiles of both gold and silver? Is it Russia leaning on Ukraine? Is it Israel and the Middle East? Is it Diwali's coming up, the extra demand for gold building into Diwali? Is it the distrust of the banking environment around the Western world? Is it the government? The answer to all these questions is actually yes. It's a component of each of these. Each of them are playing on people's minds. And we see that particularly, one of the advantages of being in a store at the grassroots is you are hearing from the people. You're hearing not just, we read what happens in the mainstream media. You hear what central banks are doing and different governments are doing around the world, but it's also good to hear from the grassroots and the concern that the grassroots have. And they are all talking as they're coming through the door, or if you've been to BN, you'll have seen the queue out the front. And in the hall, you hear people talking about BRICS, you hear people talking about the government and what's happening with superannuation and banking and on and on and on and on. And everyone's got these different concerns. And when we panic, we don't run to anything other than precious metals, particularly gold. So it's left us in an environment where we've broken through $4,100 Australian. As I speak right now, it's about $4,110. We're getting very close to breaking $3,000 US. We're still a little bit away from that, but heck, we were quite a bit away from $4,000 Australian not that long ago. So we're already pushing into these unknown territories. And look, to be honest, with the uncertainty we've got at the moment, I can see it pushing further. Now, I'm not trying to drive up demand and all those sorts of things. Absolutely, we're bullion dealers, we sell gold, we sell silver, all those types of things. But you can just see in people's eyes, you can see in the conversations, you can see in the media this desire. We're seeing more articles about precious metals in mainstream media. More people are talking about it. That interest is going to drive the demand. But what are some of the negatives with it? We can look around and see the positives. One of the big negatives that we have to be careful of in Australia and almost any other country around the world, except for probably the US and even to a degree countries in Europe, but in Australia particularly, interest rates are going to be upon us very soon. Both the Fed's announcements and the RBA here in Australia's announcement. And I think they happen very close together. What's likely to happen, what we're expecting to happen, is the US to announce a decrease in their interest rates and Australia to announce that they're going to hold their interest rates. So that's going to drive the Australian dollar up. It's going to add strength to the Australian dollar, which for Australian buyers of gold can actually have the effect of driving the price down in our local currency. Won't be a huge movement, I don't believe, but that's certainly one of the negatives there. Some of the things that you may not be looking at are things like gold and silver have been on a bit of a tear, but platinum hasn't. So if you look at the ratios at the moment, the platinum, excuse me, my phone's ringing in the middle of this. If you look at particularly the silver platinum ratio at the moment, it's quite attractive to convert silver into platinum if that's your burn. So even though we're looking at times where things are at all-time highs and breaking into new territory and where are they going to end, there's things you can do to take advantage of these runs. So in this example that I'm giving, this run in silver price, by maybe taking some of that silver, converting it into platinum, and that way you're still exposed to the precious metal sector. But if silver has a pullback, you're less likely to cop it in platinum. So there's some of the questions, some of the comments, some of the thoughts that you should probably have as you look around. Is it being impacted by all these things we mentioned? Absolutely it is. Those and far more. Is it going to run on forever? Absolutely not. Do not panic. Do not panic buy. Take your time. Take a deep breath. Target your buying. Don't just buy anything randomly. Pick what you want and whatever reason that's for, and purchase that. Don't be frightened of keeping some powder dry. Purchase some now in case it goes up in future, but hold some back in case it goes down in the future. It won't go on forever. Eventually it will turn, and the faster we go up and the higher we go in the shorter term, the more severe a downturn we're going to have. So just keep that in the back of your mind as well. I'm a big fan of this in times like this, of this almost dollar cost averaging, where you commit some powder to the purchase and you hold some back just to see what happens next week or next month. So if it goes up higher, well, I've still bought some at a lower price, so it's not the end of the world. And if it comes back lower, well, it doesn't matter because I've still got some powder dry to buy some more. I hope that's helped a little bit. I don't know if it's cleared the confusion at all, but it's just to say, really, no one really knows what's going on. Look around, look at what's best for you, and go from there. All right, that's it for now. We'll talk again very soon. See ya.